What's going on, guys? Welcome back to my channel. This is Leo's Nerd Talk, and today we're going to be talking about Terrifier 3. So let's get into that. Hi, my name is Leo, and as I talk about movie, TV show, video game related, or just anything nerdy, you have come to the right place. And like I said, today we're talking about Terrifier 3. So without further ado, let's get into the review. Now, I've been eagerly waiting for Terrifier 3's release. Terrifier 2 is one of my favorite horror movies of all time, and Art the Clown has quickly become one of my favorite slashers of all time. So naturally, I would be very, very excited for this movie. And it didn't disappoint. I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, but let's get into my reasons why. But before I get started on my pros and cons, let me know what you guys thought about the movie in the comment section down below. I'd love to hear all of you guys' thoughts. Do you guys like the Terrifier franchise? Do you guys not like them? Do you guys think it's too gruesome? Not gruesome enough? Definitely let me know in the comment section down below. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get into my pros. And starting with my pros, I absolutely love the setting of this movie. Obviously, we already knew for quite a while this was going to be set in Christmas. And I do enjoy that Christmas flavor that this movie kind of has, especially with Art the Clown wearing his, Santa outfit. And it's in the snow and all the Christmas lights and Christmas trees. This is going to be another Christmas horror movie to add to the roster to watch every single year, every couple of years. So I do like the new setting of it being during the Christmas season. And I love that we are continuing with Sienna Shaw's character and Jonathan Shaw's character and exploring a little bit more into her, of her kind of living with this massacre that she kind of survived through. It's been 5 years after the Terrifier 2 events, and she just got released out of this kind of psychiatric hospital, but she's still obviously dealing with these emotions. And I do absolutely love her performance within this movie, especially that you can just tell in her face and just the way she emotes and the way she speaks, and that you can see that kind of all that hell that she went through still lingering in the back of her mind, just with her facial expression. So I absolutely loved her performance in this movie. I really enjoyed that we got to learn a little bit more about her, a little bit more about her background and her life, and like how she was as a little kid, and a little bit more about her father as well. So I just enjoy how we're starting to still slowly peeling back the pieces of these characters' lives. And even then, so with Art the Clown as well, we don't get too much more lore than we did in the the original first two, Terrifier and Terrifier 2. But again, we're just slowly peeling back those layers, and we're starting to learn where this clown kind of came from, what's controlling him, how is he having these supernatural kind of abilities, what is motivating him. So we're starting to get a lot more lore, a lot more details about this character, about this universe, and how all these things kind of work. And I just really enjoy how we're starting to explore that, and I like the way it's going. That's not going to be something that's for everybody, the way that it's going. Some people prefer a straightforward slasher movie. I do like that this is starting to go a little bit more supernatural and a little bit more demonic as we start to move through these Terrifier movies. And one of my biggest surprises was probably Jason Patric in this movie as Sienna's dad. When we go to some of like the flashback moments, seeing Jason Patric in this movie was an absolute pleasure. Obviously, I love him from The Lost Boys, but just seeing him on screen was absolutely fun. And those flashback moments were actually really creative and build a little bit more intrigue into this universe of why her dad is not around, what her dad's story is, what that family dynamic is kind of like, and why Sienna might have some sort of connection with Art the Clown, or at least this demonic presence that's around. It's starting to all, like I said, just piece together. We're slowly peeling back those layers, and the puzzle pieces are starting to mesh together. And I just like the direction that we're going, like the direction Damien Leone is taking this. And speaking of Damien Leone, directing, absolutely amazing. I think this is one of the best directed films he's done. He has absolutely been getting better and better with each entry of this franchise. I think even something that I've said in the past, that Damien Leone is not great at writing dialogue. I think the dialogue is for sure the best. It feels the most heartfelt. It feels the most natural. It doesn't feel forced. So I absolutely love what he's been doing with these characters and how he's building upon his own skills and styles. And it definitely fleshes out here in this movie. You can definitely see Damien Leone's style from behind the camera, and even with the characters and how he's been building them. So I absolutely love that Damien Leone is starting to just flesh out this world, and he's been doing so much better as a director. I obviously already loved him from the original couple of Terrifiers, but he's just starting to really show his skills as a director, and I'm really enjoying what he's doing with this world. And of course, the gore is absolutely amazing. Just as always, Dave Filoni is a great practical effects gore user. He has perfected the practical effects, in my opinion. It's always done so well on screen, where it looks very realistic, it looks very gruesome and bloody. And of course, if you're an Art the Clown fan, this is kind of the stuff that you come to these movies for, is for the gore, for the visceralness. But even though there is a good amount of that in this movie, I think story-wise, this is the best that we've gotten out of the Terrifier franchise. It relies a lot more on character development and fleshing out these human characters. Like I said, you know, I enjoy that this isn't a, we're gonna kill this person in a gruesome way, kill this person in a gruesome way, kill this person in a gruesome way, end credits, move on to the next. This definitely feels like a story that is trying to be fleshed out. So even with all the amazing gore and Art the Clown being the sadistic maniac, awesome killer that he is, there is a fun, interesting, intriguing story to back it up, in my opinion. And of course, I kind of already mentioned this a little bit, but I just love Art the Clown. I think he is the most fun in this movie, especially him in the Santa outfit, and even just the way he's been emoting and stuff. Like, there's so many great moments that is just absolutely hilarious. Nothing to do with the killing and stuff like that, but just the way Art the Clown acts, the way he reacts to things and stuff like that. It is absolutely such a blast to see this character go even a little bit more crazy on screen. So Art the Clown still continues to be one of my favorite horror slashers of all time. And now heading into my cons, of course, I have a few things to discuss here. Let's get the big one out of the way. Is this as gruesome or more gruesome as Terrifier 2? Do you need to be worried walking into this movie from hearing all of the early reactions of people throwing up, leaving the movie in the first 5 to 10 minutes because they can't handle it? Is this to that level? And honestly, absolutely not. This is probably the tamest Terrifier movie that we've gotten. Terrifier 2 was absolutely a bloodbath type of movie, and I even think that Terrifier 1 might beat this one out in terms of the gruesomeness, in terms of the gore. Now let me preface and be clear. The reason why some people might be leaving in the first 5 to 10 minutes is completely understandable from a psychological standpoint, especially if you're walking in this as a parent and kids being hurt, things having to do with kids is something you can't necessarily stomach or enjoy in a film. I can absolutely agree with you 100% if you think this movie is not for you for that point alone, because that's not a topic that a lot of people like to explore in their horror movies. You know, horror movies are supposed to be sometimes escapism, and when you bring in such a real life thing, especially for people that are maybe parents and have young kids, I can completely understand why some people might have walked out in the first 5 to 10 minutes. However, going back to the gruesome stuff and people throwing up because of how disgusting and gory this movie is, absolutely not. That is not at all what I thought. This definitely has some pretty gruesome kills. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it and say that it's so tame where it feels like a Scream movie or anything like that. It is definitely gory. It's to the level of Terrifier 1, and it gets close to that Terrifier 2 level for me personally, but it is not to the point where I think someone will be throwing up or leaving because of the gore, blood and guts that we get here. And I said butts by accident, but if you've seen the movie, you know what I mean. But going on beyond that, I do think the utilization of Jonathan was not done very well. I do enjoy this character, but I think he needed to be more prominent within this movie, and being a team with Sienna like we got in Terrifier 2, he felt like someone that really wanted to just get away from this massacre that happened and try to forget that and move on with his life. And you can completely understand that, but I do wish once we got to the later half of the movie that he was a lot more prominent and being there with Sienna. And obviously there's a big reveal at the end with Jonathan's character. That was a little unfortunate. I wish we got a little bit more again with this character, and he got a little bit more fleshed out with this character, and he became a little bit more of a teammate with Sienna towards the end. And lastly, actually, you know what, 2 more things. One, before I get to my big last one, As much as this is a Christmas film, I do wish there was a lot more Christmas themed stuff. The most that we get is really Art the Clown within a Santa outfit, as well as snow and Christmas lights all around. I wish there was a little bit more utilization of that Christmas theme. Now, lastly, I do wish this one was the final chapter. I wish this was our ending, our finale. You know, I'm happy that we've already been announced a Terrifier 4, but this one felt more of a cliffhanger than Terrifier 2. This felt like a chapter 1 or a part 1 of 2. And I'm excited. I'm still very excited to see where this world and the lore goes beyond this point. But this definitely felt, like I said, a part 1 of 2 type of movie. So that is one thing. By the end of the movie, you might not feel as satisfied as you did at the end of Terrifier 2. But that's going to be it for this one, guys. I actually loved this movie. I wanted it to be at least as good as Terrifier 2, and I don't think it reaches that height yet. I might need to watch it again, but it's very, very close in my opinion. But I'll definitely like to hear all your guys' thoughts about Terrifier 3 in the comment section down below. And again, if you guys like time with a movie, TV show, or video game related, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. I'll see you guys on the next video. Thank you.